Now let's talk about different digital lead sources while we are at it. So talk to me about where you're getting your leads from and which have been the most productive for you.
Facebook Marketplace has been absolutely great for us. Our website is still number one, and things like Auto Trader. Our lead sources are a little bit named a little bit different than in America, but your audience will definitely understand what I'm talking about. But Facebook Marketplace has been huge for us over the past 18 months, as well as our website. Pretty much everything we do is digital. Everything is online. We do have some events, but about 99% of our budget is spent digitally.
Yeah. So do you ever track, I know in the car business, they track days to sale from digital leads. Do you ever track that by lead source?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So which ones seem to close the most quickly? Is it from your side or Facebook Marketplace?
Website for sure. Yeah.
Your website for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea why do you think that is? Just because they're warmer, you have a better relationship with them?
Yeah, I think what I find is that a lot of leads that come from our website have dealt with us before, and they're familiar with our website. They're familiar with the value that we bring, and they might already have a relationship with us. Whereas if it's Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that, those are great lead sources. However, they're usually somebody that hasn't heard about us and doesn't have a relationship with us, and so it just takes a little bit longer. That's my assumption.
Yeah, so you have to build that trusting relationship somehow. Okay, great. So if you were to give other dealers an idea or two about how to convert more digital leads to sales, what might those ideas be, Brian?
Well, honestly, I guess for me, it's always about the basics, right? If it's a digital lead, treat them just as you would if somebody's walking into your showroom or phoning you. They're not a second class lead source. They are first class. So treat them just as if they're on your showroom floor. And then the other thing is measure everything. So your response time is absolutely key. If it's taking you 24 hours or even 1 hour to get back to one of these digital lead sources, they're on your competitor's website, they're on your competitor's Facebook Marketplace. Your response time needs to be pretty much instant. We used to have an hour rule. We've dropped that down to a 15-minute rule. And I know that a few of your audience members will be laughing at 15 minutes as that being too long. So it has to be instant, and you have to treat them as if they're standing in front of you. It's different, and it's not easy, but one thing that's great is that we have so many young people coming into our industry, whether they're parts people, general merchandise salespeople, whether they're motorcycle salespeople, and they really get this technology. So hire young. They also shop this way. So hire young and listen to them. They will teach you a lot.
Yeah, digital natives. We can learn a lot from them. Okay, so based on results, what are the most important social platforms that you think dealers should participate in? So is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Is it, Snapchat or something else that's going on? What are the most important social programs?
I suggest picking your favorite two and doing a really, really good job of it. I see so many times people are trying to be on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram and well, let's do TikTok. Just pick two that you like, that your customers go to, and do them really well. For us, that based on our demographic, that's both Facebook and Instagram. But honestly, I see a lot of dealers, and they may have more success than me. I see a lot of dealers spending a lot of time and energy and money on social. I think social is kind of the icing on the cake. You're going to get better results as far as sales and everything else, or at least our experience is that you get better results for sales through things like Facebook Marketplace than a fun post on Instagram. By really having your Google AdWords dialed in, your SEO and SEM, that's gonna really change the bar, raise the bar, for you, rather than a nice Instagram post.
Because you could spend, nobody's got unlimited time, energy, or money, and you could really, social media is like the black hole that can suck everything through.
Well, as a retailer, you now own a radio station, You now own a TV channel, and we're now media companies, right? And so not only are we trying to run a showroom and a dealership, but we are now media companies as well. And the more of those channels that you do, the more content that you have to create, and it can be an absolute black hole. You're right.
So how do you make sure that, I mean, because your Instagram is fantastic. So how do you manage coming up with great content, keeping your followers engaged, but yet not breaking the bank or exhausting yourself on social media because you've got other more fertile fields to plow?
Right. Well, I guess that's just management and having my marketing manager has a really healthy mindset, or I feel so, around social media, and he just leads the way that way. I'm not sure how to answer that exactly.
Yeah. So surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you this. Social media is a weird and wacky place. You ever get trolled?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So how do you deal with it?
As politely as you possibly can, always apologetically, knowing full well that you're not going to please everybody, and then some people just have an axe to grind. We get that a lot. We're the biggest dealer group in Canada, and not everybody agrees with that. A lot of customers feel that we may feel too corporate and stuff like that. So we do get trolled. It's just part of the game.
Nature of the beast. All right, excellent. So now you were just talking about search engine optimization, SEO. Yep. Tell me, what is your approach with that? How do you do it? How do you stay on top of the keywords and the hashtagging and all that stuff?
I used to do it myself back in 2009, 2010. I managed all that myself, and that was okay because there wasn't any other dealer in Canada anyway that I knew of that was really doing much on that. So I could make a lot of mistakes. Right now, we can't afford to make any mistakes, and so we outsource that to SEM and SEO professionals, and we've used a couple of different companies. The biggest thing, though, if you're going to outsource, you got to keep them honest, because there is a lot of ways that these companies, and there's a few companies out there that they're not good players, and they will send you all kinds of stats and statistics that are from their own making. If you're outsourcing, when you sign a contract, make sure that you have that in there, that you want the data directly from Google. If they take the Google information or all the stats and everything and they put it into their own spreadsheet and it's nice, it's got their logo on it, don't accept it. They're pumping their numbers. If they're not showing you the raw data and the keywords that they're using, you can get yourself in trouble. The other thing is you can really get yourself in trouble around DATs. Nobody's wanting to advertise outside of their DAT into somebody else's DAT, but sometimes to get some quick stats, or maybe they don't quite understand the rules that we have to follow, these companies can hurt you that way.
Wow, those are two excellent points, Brian. Okay,
Thanks.
So in sum, it's got to be Google data, because otherwise it could be inflated and they could be charging you for results that aren't really happening. And the second is they need to understand the DAT and the importance of that, and you got to play within your lane. Wow, good stuff.
As well as map policy,
What's your position on pay per click ads?
Use it sparingly, and don't get caught in a bidding war.
Tell me, what do you mean?
Well, pay to click isn't necessarily bad, but there are, if you've got pay to click ads, your competitors are clicking them. and they will pump your bill up. I mean, when you pay to click, you're the number one ad at the top, right? And if I'm Googling to see if somebody's got a used bike, I always click their ad and cost them the money. The other thing is Google is always an auction, right? And a lot of search engines are just an auction. So if I'm purchasing a keyword and somebody in the next DAT is purchasing that same keyword, it's going to get in a bit of a bidding war. So it's good, but you got to use it sparingly. You got to lock in a budget, and you got to know
and stick with
got to
it.
know that somebody that you might, not every click is a customer. Sometimes it's going to be,
God,
it's going to be me.
fantastic.
Sometimes it's going to be me.
Ah, that is hilarious. Okay, so now you talked about your we talked about budgets, and you talked about how your ad budget now is almost entirely digital. Is that correct?
That pretty much entirely, other than events. Yeah.
Could you give me some rough percentages of what do you spend and where?
Uh,
And if you don't want to, that's fine.
That's a good question. I need to get that pie chart out. Probably about 30% is spent on 30% spent on our website. Probably about 20% of our budget is spent. No, it's going to be higher than that. 40% spent on our budget on our website and its maintenance. Probably about 30-40% is spent on SEO and SEM, and then we do some social media pay-to-click ads, Google as well, and then maybe 5 to 10% is spent of our total budget is spent on events and stuff like that. We don't do any traditional as far as newspaper, radio, nothing like that. If you can't click it, and if I can't see the data, then we don't do it.
You can't click it, you don't pick it, do you? All right, good for you.